Your brain is lying to you every single day. The more important a task becomes, the more your brain wants to avoid it. But scientists discovered why. And once you understand it, procrastination starts losing its power.
You sit in a dimly lit room, staring at a blank screen while a blinking cursor paces like a metronome. The mental tension mounts. Within seconds, you abandon the work and grab the smartphone beside your keyboard. You know this project is tied to a major career goal. You understand exactly the steps required to finish it. Yet you find yourself actively choosing an escape route. Chronic delay is frequently categorized as a moral failing or a lack of willpower. In reality, it is a biological mechanism functioning exactly as it was programmed thousands of years ago. While we often reach for a planner to solve the problem, the evidence points toward a struggle with emotional regulation rather than a failure of time management. The human brain evolved in an environment where immediate survival outranked distant possibilities. It is wired to capture short-term rewards right now, rather than invest energy in a payoff that might not arrive for months. Overcoming this default state requires more than just trying harder. It requires decoding the neurobiological blind spots driving the behavior. When a task is difficult or ambiguous, your nervous system rapidly evaluates the mental energy required to solve it. To ancient survival circuits, a sudden demand for high energy expenditure can be interpreted as a threat. The brain registers a complex spreadsheet or an intimidating blank document as an active danger. The amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, immediately sounds an alarm. It signals the nervous system to initiate a flight response, urging you to retreat from the source of the stress. Brain scans show for a chronic procrastinator, merely anticipating the avoided task activates neural pain centers. This creates measurable psychological distress. The biological urge to seek immediate relief from that discomfort becomes the brain's primary objective. Reaching for a distraction in that moment is a pain relief mechanism executed by the stressed nervous system. To soothe the amygdala's alarm bells, the brain looks for the fastest available chemical painkiller. This search is driven by dopamine. This neurotransmitter floods the system when you anticipate a reward, functioning as a signal for the brain to pursue that specific source of relief. The nervous system runs a rapid calculation to find the most efficient route to generate that dopamine spike and offset the stress. Smartphones and social media algorithms are engineered to exploit this exact reward prediction circuitry. They offer a guaranteed delivery of dopamine, creating a path of least resistance that is biologically difficult to ignore. Infinite scrolling provides massive, immediate chemical returns. Finishing a long-term work project offers a slow, delayed gratification that the primitive brain is not optimized to value. This comparison shows the two options the brain weighs in real time. The instant hit from a phone rises rapidly, while the payoff for work remains flat for hours or days. In a strict neurological cost-benefit analysis, long-term tasks mathematically lose to the smartphone every time. These repeated chemical reactions quickly forge an automatic behavioral structure. This cycle is known as the habit loop. It begins with the cue, the initial spike of stress induced by facing a blank document or a complex problem. The cue triggers the routine, the automatic physical action of reaching for the phone to escape the tension. Finally, the action delivers the reward. The resulting dopamine hit provides temporary relief, validating the escape maneuver and closing the loop. Every time this cycle is completed, the physical neural pathway supporting it thickens. The urge to escape becomes more ingrained the next time the cue occurs. Chronic procrastination is the result of a heavily reinforced structural loop wired into the brain's architecture. Breaking this loop requires dismantling the belief that you must feel motivated before you start working. The neurochemistry of momentum suggests that the brain releases focus-enhancing chemicals only after you cross the threshold of action. Behavior creates the state of mind, not the other way around. The first practical step to bypass your nervous system is to shrink the discomfort by lowering the initial barrier to entry. By using the 2-minute rule, you commit to working on the task for just 120 seconds. This time limit is low enough that the amygdala often fails to register the effort as a threat, allowing you to bypass the initial stress response. The second step is to sever the escape route through deliberate environment design. Physically placing your smartphone in another room starves the habit loop of its primary reward. Without the immediate distraction available, the brain eventually looks for engagement in the task at hand. Finally, use temptation bundling. Pair a difficult task with an immediate reward, like listening to a specific podcast only while cleaning your workspace, to satisfy the dopamine prediction system while completing the necessary work. Because of neuroplasticity, your biological impulses are not permanent. Neural branches can physically detach and reconnect, allowing you to build new pathways. Learning to navigate these biological impulses provides the foundation for consistent progress toward your long-term goals. So train your mind, shape your future.